right, and it is Super Bowl Sunday, which means we're doing a special segment for you. For those of you, some of you know, some of you don't. I am a correspondent on a show called Crooks and Books. It's a sports betting podcast, and they have a whole bunch of folks on there. It's a good time. You should go check it out. I do that every now and then. One of the hosts is going to join us, though. The main host, the founder of the show, is going to join us here. I think she joined us maybe not last year, but the year before for the pre-Super Bowl show. She's going to join us. We're going to make some predictions. We're going to talk some of the bets and maybe some of the external influences for the Super Bowl coming up this Sunday. It'll be tomorrow when this airs. Yeah, tomorrow. Some of the external influences for the game on Sunday. Anyway, without further ado, the sports bet queen. You can follow her on Instagram at Kdeuces or at the sports bet queen. How's it going?
Hello. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. As always, we appreciate you on the show. So if you guys haven't watched it, please come. We are going to have a show too as well this week. So yeah, follow me on Instagram and you should be able to see it. Thanks for having me today.
Yes. When does that air? Is that going to air Thursday? Friday?
It should air Friday.
Friday.
Yes.
Friday. All right, sweet. So you guys can check that out and then Saturday morning, go listen to mine. Perfect. You all know where to find it. It's Crooks and Books Podcast, wherever you get your show. You're not banned from anywhere, are you?
No.
Okay.
No, I mean, hopefully not yet, but yes, no.
After this show, you will be. Don't worry. There's some retards out there that hate listen to this show, so you'll be on somebody's shit list. Believe me, just for guilt by association.
Yeah. Or I guess birds of a feather flock together. Right?
That's right. Fuck it. We're all degenerates somehow, right? That's okay. So Super Bowl. Who do you got? Who's gonna what? I don't even know what the spread is. That's how much I haven't followed it.
It's at 1.5. And we'll talk about it more on the show, obviously, as it changes.
Kansas City.
Change. 1.5 Kansas City favored, obviously. But the interesting part about this, Caleb, is that there is obviously certain reasons why people would bet certain teams, right?
Yes.
And you and I always talk about this on the show where we talk about the Philly mob and then we talk about Taylor Swift. So it's basically all that coming together. I initially I don't like Casey, and we all know that obviously on the show, and anybody that knows me will know that I don't like Casey. But what's the right bet here? I think it's going to be Casey.
No.
I know.
I don't want to see 3 in a row. I really don't want to see 3 in a row.
I don't, as a Laker fan as well, no one wants to see that. I don't want to see that ever. It's just in denial. But I just feel like this is one of those things where it's bigger than just, I mean, can you imagine the Niners had everything that Philly had, okay? And possibly more, okay? And if they're any bit but smart, I just feel like you can't give the ball to Patrick Mahomes in the last 2 minutes of the game or any last possession. You just can't. You can't.
Yeah, I don't. The Eagles are a good team, though.
They are.
They're very complete. You know what I mean?
The public really, really doesn't like KC right now. And is that good for Vegas? Fuck yes, it is. Do they want the public to bet on the Philly mob? Yes, they do. They want the public to slam that like there's no other. I just feel like they just keep wanting you to bet the Eagles because it's like, oh my God, it's a dog. It's free money. It's Saquon Barkley. And here we go,
So do you think there's going to be any, like I said, external influence with these refs? Because that seems to be all the talk.
Yes. So did you hear about that? I mean, there's a lot of things did you hear about, but there is a rumor, and a lot of rumors are sometimes true, or there's some truth in it.
There's usually smoke, right?
Yeah. It's like a joke, right? When you're joking, but you really aren't.
Yeah.
That Tom Brady let it all out. Like he aired it all out because he was not trying to have the record broken, obviously, because he can't break it anymore. And he was like being kind of like, well, they pay the refs. Like the KC wife, the owner of KC, the wife pays the refs millions and millions of dollars.
Tom Brady claimed this?
Yeah, like he said that there's a deeper part to how And this is just some guy that's on like Instagram Reels saying it, right? So
Well,
factually.
that's interesting you say that, because I was looking over the prop bets this afternoon, and one of them was, will Tom Brady criticize the officials live on air?
Is he hosting?
He
Like for
must.
sure?
He must be one of. I doubt they're going to let him announce. Is he going to announce it?
Dude, that would be insane.
I can't imagine. There's got to be too much of a conflict of interest there. I can't imagine Tom Brady would want to.
Yeah.
Could remain impartial in a game like that.
And he's literally like the most competitive guy on the planet when it
Oh,
comes
I know.
to,
He'll be so. Maybe let me see Super Bowl announcers. I don't know if they've announced him yet.
but that's entertainment in itself.
It is.
For whatever he says. So
it is. Terry Bradshaw. Oh, that's. Let me see here. Who's calling?
They're probably on the NFL Fox thing, right?
It is Tom Brady. Tom Brady will be calling the Super. Oh, it's going to be interesting now. Yep. Okay. Well, there it is.
How do you fucking retire and get a job for millions and millions of dollars and then fucking literally like just host a Super Bowl?
Because you're the GOAT and you can do what you want.
Yeah, but
or
then
you got
now
on somebody.
Yeah. I mean, but now he's gonna be like, I don't even know what to say. Like, he's probably gonna be like all like disappointed if they win.
That's the entertainment value, though, right there. To see a visibly agitated Tom Brady will be the entertainment value on it. That's entertainment on its own. You could sell that on its own.
And betting wise, that's gonna be like a million memes.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, it will be. But no. So did you hear what Blandino's, the former head of officiating, what his brother said?
No.
His brother did an interview with, I don't remember who it was with, earlier in the week, and he claimed that the NFL is rigged and that his brother signed an NDA that he couldn't say anything about it.
I mean, these lawyers there's gotta be like a lawyer out there that like uses AI and is like, how do you like get out of an NDA?
Do you think? I mean, fuck, that's, I don't know. I don't think when people when people say it's rigged, I don't think it's rigged in the sense that the WWE is rigged. You know what I mean? I don't think you could get all 2,000 players and 32 owners and nobody would ever, especially with all these guys with CTE, one of them would let it spill, and one of them would come with receipts and let it spill.
Yeah. I think it's rigged to a certain extent, though.
Sure, I think the officials absolutely point the game in directions that the league wants it to go.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They can't control the physical aspect of it because they're not actually playing the game, but there are definitely calls where they rig it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. And what's crazy with the way they're doing it with the Chiefs is it's like they're intentionally doing it so that it won't show up on stat sheets. So it's almost like they have some sort of plausible deniability. So they can go, look, we called the same amount of penalties on both teams. What are you talking about officiating? What doesn't show up on the stat sheets are the horrible reviews, the bad spots, the no calls, things like that.
Yes, because that will never show up. Right. And I think that's another storyline of, and I know like you guys like the conspiracy stuff.
Us, not at all. Not at all. Never.
But you know what I mean? Like, I think that's the storyline that fits it all. It's like, oh, they weren't even that good this year and they weren't having a good year, but here they are winning against the best team in the NFL, which shows that obviously you got the offensive player of the year, on that other team, and you got a great defense and they played at home and they're that team. Just like it's like a repeat of like what the Niners were last year. It just fits the criteria.
Just a complete team.
Like that they are going against the best of the best at their worst. And they're the enemy. And guess what? They're still going to freaking win no matter how much we don't want to see that. Don't want to see it.
I made the comparison the whole way through the election when you had a lot of conservatives spiking the football saying that, Trump's got it in the bag. And they were saying this back in the summer. And I'm like, guys, this is like playing the Kansas City Chiefs. If you want to win, you need to be up by at least 2 to 3 scores going into the fourth quarter. Otherwise, those flags are going to start getting thrown in, and all of a sudden it's going to be, holy shit, we were up, by 7 points with 2 minutes left. Now we're trying to win the game. We're behind at this point. It's the same thing. You got to make it too big to rig, and Kansas City has been just good enough to hold on with everybody, so their 12th man can come and step in and close the deal out for them this year. What were you going to say?
I just think you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. You're too big to rig if that's the case, which they did with Washington, right? Or Philly did with Washington. But then again, you have Patrick Mahomes and the rest of that. And let's not forget, like, a lot of people are sleeping on Hopkins.
Yeah.
He comes out every now and then for those really, really important throws. But at the same time, you just I wanted to deny Tom Brady of his Tampa Bay Super Bowl, because I was like, you know what? The kid is good and he's going to win. Obviously, as Tom Brady, as the GOAT he is, and he's the golden boy at the time of NFL, why did I go against that? This is the same exact story. It's just written in a different way with different characters.
Absolutely. You know what I mean? Yep. It is. It's tired. They need to come up with some new scripts here. That's
next year they should, because it's getting really all of this is going to be like, okay, guys, all this stuff. And I think Jake Paul was the one that brought it up with boxing, right? He was like, that shit's rigged. So all of this stuff is coming out with the truth, but how can you make it better? Only our generation coming up can figure it out.
Yeah.
And be like, okay, let's make it more exciting.
Well, I think the NFL, if they don't fix this, is going to run into the same problem that the NBA did with Golden State, which is where it gets tiring seeing the same team win over and over and over again, or with LeBron James, where they just continue in the Heat, where they're getting. Yeah. What happened?
So obviously everyone knows about the Luka trade, but Warriors now have Jimmy Butler.
I saw that in our group chat. I saw that he got. I don't follow. I got burnt out on the NBA. I can't follow it anymore. Part of that was the reason was you had the same players would get all the calls, and it was very clear that that the star players and everybody else played by a different set of rules. There were guys who could get away with murder and guys who would do life in prison for jaywalking. That was so it was that got old, and then this younger. What's that?
It got super boring.
It did. And that my biggest qualm with what's happened to the NBA is the team element's been removed from it. There's not really teams anymore. There's individual players. There's no sense of community. A lot, not with the younger fans, at least. A lot of these young fans don't have a favorite team. They follow specific players, and that's half of what makes sports fun is the us versus them tribalistic mentality behind it.
Just like how it is with NFL, you've got your team.
Yeah.
That's your team.
The NFL's done a good job at navigating this.
Yeah. Yeah. Or I mean, I think it has a lot to do with celebrities as well. Yeah. Because they like to be like, oh, I'm this fan, and they wear certain jerseys. And obviously Taylor Swift, half of the world wouldn't even like Kansas City Chiefs, even if they played the way that they did.
Yeah. No, she is the Jack Nicholson, the Spike Lee of the NFL. And that's why they keep showing her. And I've been telling people this for a long time. I'm like, look, they understand that there is an expiration date on this, right? It's either on their relationship or Travis Kelce's career. One of them's going to be over in a year or two, right? The NFL gets that. And again, is it annoying to see Taylor Swift in the stands? It really doesn't bother me. They show her for 5 seconds.
It's just whatever.
Yeah. But they would be stupid not to capitalize on the probably couple million viewers that the second she's no longer there are going to turn off the TV for good. Yeah. So they might as well keep those people watching, get that ad revenue from them. I respect the hustle here. Merch. I don't have a problem with the Taylor Swift thing.
No, I don't either. I did prior because I thought it was diluting, but to make more money, business is business. Yeah. You know what I mean? You can't deny free money, and a lot of people in the world spend stupid shit on other shit. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. And, you know, it's like I said, I can't, there are a lot of girls that are tuning in just to see Taylor Swift. Yeah,
mhm.
people are going to bellyache about it and complain. I can't imagine there's any NFL fans out there that are, I'm done watching because she was on my screen for 3 seconds. Well,
Yeah.
I just can't imagine that's the
No.
case. So we were talking, my wife and I, before the show, we were talking about who do you think gets shown more on TV, Taylor Swift or Trump?
Because he's attending, I think they're gonna put a lot of attention on him. But I think I don't know, it depends on, like, what the number is. If it's, like, 14, then I'd probably take I don't know, I would take Taylor because it's a little bit more, more chief stuff,
Yeah.
but depending on who Trump is going for, like, that all depends on that, and obviously, I don't think the NFL really wants to put out their opinion out there on politics, so maybe just flashing him here and there, whatever.
That's kind of what I said. I felt like she's probably less controversial. I feel like he might get shown once or twice, but after that they'll probably leave it. I don't think they want. I agree. I don't think they want to make politics the center of attention for the night. I think that would be bad for business.
Yeah,
But
do you think that, if they do win, Travis it's a big thing right now, Travis proposes to her?
that seems to be that's all the speculation. See, I have a wild conspiracy theory that I'm only half serious about, that their CIA handlers won't let them have kids because it would create a baby boom and you would have millions of young girls who would become more conservative and they can't have that. So I have a massive conspiracy theory about
That's a pretty massive
it.
conspiracy.
Mia thinks I'm insane for it, but I half-heartedly stand by.
And is that because of whatever that's going on? Like, it could literally drive the economy of having more kids, and obviously with the whole like Kamala, she
Yeah.
based it all on that.
I think there is a massive anti-human depopulation movement. I'm dead serious when I say that. I think
I
there's
think
a
it's already
serious
happened.
absolutely, but I think there's a concerted effort to destroy the American family in this country. I think you're seeing people socially, culturally, you're seeing movements trying to discourage people from having children, and I also
Mhm.
think they're openly putting things in our food and water that make it so we're
Mhm.
sterile and
And
can't have children quite as
yeah,
easily. I think that's a fact. I don't even think
and they
that's
were
a
discouraged
conspiracy.
anyway. They were discouraged from the last 4 years. So that
Absolutely. Oh
that
yeah,
made it
and
a big
that's the
hit.
thing is it gets. Sorry, go ahead. Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, be sure to click the link in the description to get the full episode on Rumble. If you prefer to listen along, you can actually get us on Spotify, Spreaker, and iHeartRadio. You can also go to www.outlawstreamers.com to learn more about not just my show, but tons of other great shows and all the exciting projects they have coming up. Follow my socials at Caleb Isn't Funny on Twitter and Instagram, at Caleb Salvatore Comedy on the Chinese Spy app that is TikTok, and be sure to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thanks, and we'll see you every Saturday for brand new episodes of That's Based. Peace.